Welcome to The Explainer. I am so incredibly excited to dive into this one with you today. Look, if you have ever felt completely crushed by the sheer volume of emails, articles, and just endless data coming at you every single day, trust me, you are not alone. Today, we're going to unpack an ancient concept called the Hamsa principle, and I genuinely believe it's the ultimate survival tool for our modern information overload. So let's jump right in and see how a mythical swan can completely change the way you consume information.
Listen to this profound translation from ancient Sanskrit texts. It says, "The science of words is boundless. Life is short, and obstacles are many. Therefore the essence must be grasped and the useless discarded, just as a swan extracts milk from a mixture of water." It's crazy to think about, right? Scholars living thousands of years ago, staring at palm leaf manuscripts, felt the exact same crushing anxiety that we feel today looking at our infinite internet feeds. The human brain was simply never built to hold everything.
Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start with the dilemma of boundless knowledge, explain Nairashira Viveka, look at the architecture of condensed wisdom, elevate to the divine matrix, and finally, wrap up with the modern Hamsa mindset. All right, let's kick things off with Section 1, the dilemma of boundless knowledge, infinity versus finitude. I want you to picture a set of scales representing human limitation. On one side, we have infinity. We're talking the boundless, infinite expanse of texts, language, and sciences, all piled on top of the countless physical and worldly obstacles that just get in the way of our learning. Now, on the other side, carrying almost no weight at all by comparison, is our severely limited brief span of human life. The scales are completely unbalanced. It is quite literally a mathematical impossibility to learn everything. That boundless expanse absolutely crushes our finitude. So since infinity simply cannot fit into finitude, we have to clearly define what it is we're actually looking for. And that brings us to Saram, or the essence. Saram is that absolute core value, the vital truth that must be captured to survive this overwhelming imbalance of knowledge. Your mind has to act as a deliberate filter. You obviously can't read the whole library, so your only option for survival is to extract the Saram, the essence, and just leave the rest behind.
Moving right along to Section 2, Nirakshira Viveka Explained, featuring the mythical swan.
Enter the mythical swan. According to ancient lore, the swan possesses this really unique, almost biological superpower. If you place a mixture of milk and water right in front of it, the swan can somehow drink only the milk and leave the water completely behind. This is the very heart of the Hamsa principle. Think of it like a raw information stream of worldly data rushing in, and the swan is effortlessly filtering it. It perfectly represents the ultimate intellectual and spiritual prudence. It's that cognitive ability to actively separate good from evil and the eternal from the temporary.
So, the crucial takeaway here is understanding the two sides of this metaphor. On one side, you've got Shira, the milk. This represents Sattvam, the wisdom, the nourishment, the truth, the absolute essence you need. On the flip side, you have Ambu, or Nira, the water. This represents Falgu, the noise, the useless information, the transient distractions that just waste your time. The concept of Viveka means discrimination. But it's not passive, right? It's the active, deliberate, cognitive separation of eternal wisdom from temporary noise. You have to actively choose the milk. Let's shift gears to Section 3, Architecture of Condensed Wisdom, taking this from theory to practice. Okay, let me tell you about an incredible historical proof of concept for this. Step 1. We have King Amarashakti, and he is facing a massive crisis. His three princes are utterly averse to learning. They flat out refuse to read the massive libraries of political texts. Step 2, a brilliant scholar named Vishnu Sharma steps up and makes this completely impossible vow. He says he'll transform these uneducated princes into political experts in just 6 months. Well, how does he do it? Step 3, he applies the Hamsa principle. He creates the Niti Shastra, filtering out all the dry, boring texts and encoding complex political science and moral codes into accessible animal fables, which, by the way, is what we now know as the Panchatantra. And finally, Step 4, the condensed wisdom. These stories acted like honey, masking the bitter medicine of harsh political realities. Vishnu Sharma literally extracted the milk from the water, feeding the princes only the pure essence so they could learn at warp speed.
Time to zoom out for Section 4, the divine matrix, the supreme swan.
On a cosmic, macro scale, the swan, or Hamsa, isn't just a smart bird. It's actually the Vahana, the divine vehicle, for the deities Brahma, representing creation, and Saraswati, representing knowledge. To truly create and to possess profound knowledge requires what's called sattva guna, ultimate purity. You need the divine ability to extract truth from absolute chaos, so you can see how perfectly the swan symbolizes this highest possible level of cosmic order and purity.
But here's the really cool part. It also operates on a micro scale, right inside of us. The highest level of enlightened beings are called Jivan Muktas, or Paramahamsa, which translates directly to the supreme swan. These are individuals who navigate the messy material world without absorbing its attachments. Think of a swan swimming in a lake. Its feathers remain completely dry even while it's totally submerged in water. Furthermore, their very breath is said to repeat the mantra, Hamsa, meaning I am he. It's this continuous, every-second discrimination between the fragile human ego and the supreme spirit, always filtering, always staying dry in the water.
Which brings us to our final section, the modern Hamsa mindset and how we actually survive the digital age. While the era has completely changed, the fundamental problem hasn't at all. Look at the ancient context, the era of palm leaf manuscripts. The obstacle there was the physical vastness of human knowledge versus our biological limits. Their filter was compiling condensed wisdom through storytelling. Fast forward to today, our modern context. We are in a digital age of infinite data. Our obstacle is algorithmic information overload, endless noise, doom scrolling, and our rapidly shrinking human attention spans. But here is the secret. The required filter is exactly the same. We need the Hamsa mindset.
This right here is what I want you to take away from this explainer. The modern viveka. Listen closely. The greatest skill today is no longer the acquisition of information. Information is cheap, it's everywhere. The ultimate superpower is the elimination of noise. We must literally become the Hamsa. We have to actively deploy cognitive discrimination every single time we open a browser or look at a phone. We must curate, filter, and ruthlessly extract the signal from the endless, rushing stream of useless data.
I want to leave you with this final provocative thought to carry with you the next time you pick up your phone or sit down at your desk. In today's endless, overflowing stream of digital data, are you consuming the milk or are you just swallowing the water? Think about what you are letting into your mind. Be the swan. Extract the essence. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you next time.